going to mint from though? There's no tokens. There's no X token.
You're
That's
going to
just
mint from the sacrifice address and your signature for that BIP token that you're sacrificing. That will give you a claim onto the X token, and that will then be used to claim the pulse.
After listening
There
to
is-
his last stream, that's not the case that I heard.
Yeah, there is no X token.
Well, hold on a second, guys. X token is just a UTXO database
X token,
placeholder.
exactly. X token can just be looked at as a placeholder. It's not literally a token.
But it will
Yeah,
have.
but don't look at it
will
like
have
that
an
way anymore, because that's
association
where
to
you're
a
wrong.
signature.
Well,
Sorry,
like,
go ahead.
that's why I brought up the legality thing, and I was bringing that up. I don't know if.
And it is relative to the claiming. If I'm investing and I'm sacrificing, then when I go to get my pulse and I mint it myself when it's $0 value,
That's not how it works, though.
Yeah, I don't agree either.
Well, I'd love to hear how you think it would work.
You're welcome to go read
your
the pin
balances
messages,
on
but
your
then-
balance of pulse will be adjusted before the blockchain is launched, and you'll have a balance of pulse for whatever reason. Maybe you're giving them because you're a good person, or the address was, marked as somebody that they wanted to give free pulse to because they sacrificed.
So
Your
abracadabra, question for
balance
you.
will.
Question.
Maybe Joe
If I-
Exotic
if I
can clear it up.
sacrifice- If I sacrifice from Litecoin, how do I then get to claim those tokens?
How
Maybe
does
Joe Exotic can clear it up.
where's it go to? Where's it going to put it? You've got to go and get it from somewhere, and it's got to move from somewhere
You
to
have to
something.
claim it. You
Yeah.
have to mint it. And you're going to do that
Exactly.
based on your signature.
I think you said the way Angel is mentioning, like it's not going to be just we do the sacrifice and then they just arrive in MetaMask. We have to go, we have to mint them, then we have to create the new Pulse network into MetaMask, do the drop down, change the networks. I mean, we have to do work, guys. Saying
Yeah.
it's an airdrop in my mind is incorrect. We need to start saying distribution or claim.
Sacrifice.
In my
Yeah,
opinion.
just like the actual airdrop, they need to do work in order to claim it. So the same should be for, like, this is speculation. Obviously, the parameters aren't set yet, but I think what he's saying is true. We're speculating on what it will be based on his
Well,
philosophy.
we saw this with Hex and claiming via Bitcoin. You claim with your signature and you minted your own Hex. And that same mechanism is off the shelf. It's what it would make extreme sense as a developer to use to claim Pulse.
Right. It looks like anything like we did with the AA daily, but we're going to do it in a monthly. It's what I think it's going to end up looking like. We would go
would
at
be
the end of the
similar.
day. Mhm.
But I'd like to hear what Joe Exotic has to say, because he
Yes,
may
please.
have more information. I don't want to.
I do as well.
Yeah.
My only point was that there's no X token. That's all. So you could look at part of it as an airdrop. If you look at one of the pin messages, right, a couple times ago, he talks about both an airdrop as well as no X token anymore, right? So that's all. I just wanted to clarify that point. So I don't know enough about the whole entire ecosystem to clarify the point beyond that, other than that point was clarified to me.
Okay. Yeah. And it would suck to have an ERC 20X token where I got to pay fees again, when that's what I'm voting against. So yeah, I think there'll be a UTXO data set that they'll plug into Pulse Chain, and you'll go to your pulsechain.com and you'll go to claim, and everything that we're sacrificing for, you will claim, and you'll sign your signature, and you will get, based on the signature that your wallet is connected to Pulse Chain, your Pulse drop, you'll mint it yourself. And now we sacrifice, we adhere to the Howey law, so it's not an unregistered security. We've minted ourselves. We've done our own work. No expectation of others for our sacrifice. The airdrop is a different deal. That's free stuff. They're with freemium. It doesn't get into the legalities.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Angel. That's how my brain and my logic seems to think.
Yeah, because it's not set in stone.
But if you're sacrificing Litecoin, for example, how does the pulse go into your wallet? I mean, must you have a wallet on Ethereum where you specify the address? Like, how does that work?
So if you did the claim with Bitcoin, and all of these wallets have a similar structure that is cryptographic BIP basis, and you can sign with using any of a well-designed wallet. You can cryptographically sign and prove that you own that address. So when you sacrifice and say, I sent 3 of whatever XRP tokens over to sacrifice, that can create a database of public addresses that then I can create as a database. And now when I want to claim, I can say, hey, people that own, if you own this address, and you can sign with a private key and prove that you own it, now all of a sudden you can now do something. And in the case of Hex, that do something for Bitcoin holders was I could mint Hex. And so my thought is that they would take that same type of code, that same signature, which is proven to keep your stuff safe and to be able to be done without compromising your private keys. They would use that same code to allow us to take Litecoin and sign and say, hey, we own this sacrifice address, and now I want to mint this number of Pulse. And then when I mint it using my Pulse Ethereum based address, I'm minting it into that address. So I'm doing all the work myself, and it just requires this cryptographic signature, which many wallets can do. And we did this with Bitcoin.
I was just going to say that it's important that the wallet can do that, because there's probably, you know, some clarification for some people who think they're going to just come straight from an exchange. That's not going to happen. And certainly some wallets that can do signatures is important. At the time of the Hex launch, it was, you know, we were like, yeah, you know, get these types of wallets. These are the ones where you can definitely do a signature and that kind of thing.
Yeah, Electronium was the one I used.
Yeah.
I believe that that's the case and that's an option, but I remember him speaking about this specifically, saying that they may do that same claim mechanism in Pulse, but they may be able to code it, and they want to code it a different way so you do not have to. So that was in one of his last live streams, talking specifically about that.
I mean, maybe they could well be maybe making something simplifying the process a little bit to make it easier for most people. Because again, going back to an earlier point, much earlier in the conversations, was like, you got new people coming to this, they're like, oh, what the fuck is a signature? What? You know, so I think if there is something to make it easier and ease the onboarding, great.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
You will have to link it to an Ethereum address, though, if it's coming from another blockchain. Is that right?
But while you're doing the signature, you will be connected to Pulse Chain. So you will do it from your Pulse Chain address. So when we claimed with Hex, so we signed from a wallet, but we were connected to the website that used our Ethereum Hex address.
Angel, I don't think it's like that. This is the first time I've heard anybody say that you'd have to claim it in that manner. I don't know the specifics to clarify it, but I've never heard anybody say that other than right now today, you guys.
But you mean in terms of cross-chain claiming and minting?
Yeah.
As far as it being similar to the Bitcoin claiming process for Hex and you having to use a signature for a certain kind of wallet.
Yeah, and the guy that was just talking, I think it was Abracadabra. I did hear Richard talk about this, and he said that this is one way that they could do it. They could make it more seamless. So this, I just didn't make it up.
Okay. I must have missed that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you said something to do with like being able to take your public key and being able to kind of derive your wallet somehow. I mean,
that's correct. That's what I heard as well. That it'll be able to be, they can derive an ETH address from another blockchain address that has that same BIP39 standard. is what I heard. Now that's what they want to do. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they can do or they will do.
I can
Was that in the
confirm that
last one
that
or
I
the
was
one on
listening to that.
Friday,
stuff.
Abracadabra? You know, I'm gonna go rewatch it.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where it was. I was trying to find
It's on the last one.
timestamps, but there's no timestamps on that last video. I don't think that was only like an hour and something long.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
but it's
check it
definitely
out.
on that video because I do remember listening to that.
Just a quick interjection. Joe Hexotic, thanks for all your videos and content. Love it. Thank you much.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's great hearing everybody talk. And but I've just, you know, when you guys use some terminology I'm not familiar with, I just get a little bit overwhelmed. But my understanding is, like with MetaMask, for example, you just switch the network and the coins will be there after the fork because of the sacrifice. So I wasn't aware that we were going to have to claim them in any way.
I don't believe that. I don't believe there's a way to do a signature from MetaMask anyway, is there?
Well, you would do
No,
it on the website.
because we're going to be sending the coins from our ETH addresses. For me in particular, I don't own anything off the Ethereum network, so everything's coming off my ETH address. I believe that I'm simply going to be able to switch over to the Pulse network at the top, like I can a test network. And then because I sent those to the sacrifice phase, I believe that somehow, and I don't know the specifics, that those will be there when the system goes live.
And
That's how I understand it.
But this is
what I think, Joe,
this
is
is
that
exactly what we were saying.
you would have a claim just like you do with the AA. You would be able to claim and mint your own tokens. So they would show up on your wallet, but you then wouldn't have to sign anything.
The claim is the sacrifice, I believe.
Yeah, but if you think to use, I think you used this example a few moments ago, Angel, was if you sacrifice Litecoin, how do you associate Litecoin through to Ethereum?
I think I know that. If you have your Litecoin address, he mentioned that somehow he would be able to use that mechanism to create that address in Ethereum. So probably you're gonna sign your transaction, and somehow you're gonna have to import your private key into MetaMask, and maybe that compatible address to Litecoin address will show up. I think you're gonna have to import your private key, Litecoin private key, into MetaMask. That's what I was just thinking of.
I don't believe that's true.
Well, the good thing is we don't got to figure it out. We got Richard and team to figure it out. We just got to figure out what we're gonna do with the Pulse after we get it.
But it's important.
Yeah, these are just semantics.
Well, they're not, I don't think they are semantics. I think they're important because, say, for example, you accept Ripple or Cardano, and you've got a whole load of people who've got those sitting in a type of
We lost you, buddy.
We lost you, Bruno.
wallet or something. Actually, you can do this, but you've got to store your stuff in this wallet now. So you'll have a scramble of people moving things around, and could be.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's going to be the case. I don't think you're going to have to sign something from an address because that would just introduce the same complexity that happened with Hex, and there was just a lot of people that did not claim because of that fact. So
I don't believe
that'll
be the case either. I don't believe that'll be the case either.
I agree. It's complicated.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Would you not agree that the sacrifice is the claim? Like if you have to physically go in and sacrifice your coins, and that right there. Sorry?
Can you repeat that, man?
We just need really good videos from Richard to explain it, like in when Hex was launched, like how to sign and what to do exactly.
That will happen. That'll happen.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
semantics. It's not going to be. He's not going to make you have to shuffle everything around. He's going to make it as simplistic as possible, right? That's why I call it semantics, because it's going to be an easy process where you go and make your claim. Sorry, sacrifice.
I am very interested to hear how it's going to work for anything other than an ERC20 token, because that does seem rather complicated to me. So For me, it's very simple, just switching over in MetaMask. But the rest of the process seems very complex.
Hey, Joe, did you hear the conversation about why even entertain these other chain things for the little guy?
I believe so.
Okay. Because if I want to put in $20, then if I can use some of these other tokens, then I can do it in a clearer way. Then it clears the path out of these hex fees for people to get in on Pulse and Pulse Hex, or Hex on Pulse network. So it's a good thing to discuss. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure you heard that, because we focus on Hex so often that it might be good for content creators to know why this is even important.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I understand why it's important. It's incredible. It's what's going to make it happen. I'm just curious to how the process is going to be with my understanding. I just switch over the network I'm on with my MetaMask, and my Pulse coins are there. It's simple from my understanding. But the question, if it's off the ERC network, then it's not simply just switching over the top of a wallet, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I
That's right.
think there's
That's right.
very minimal. Yeah, very minimal information on that. But you're right.
Yeah, I'm going to be one of those people. I hold Hex. I'm not going to be sacrificing Hex. I'm going to be sacrificing a different coin.
It is simply.
I free claimed.
Go ahead.
I free claimed with Bitcoin during Hex, and somehow that coin's in my MetaMask account. I don't remember how, but I remember him talking about just taking the UTXO set and making adjustments for people he didn't like or didn't want included, and Mt. Gox and all that. And I don't see how that would be any different for any other blockchain to include the UTXO set, and then for the, and yes, you kind of have to call a sacrifice a claim in a way, but I'm sure there'll be some way to separate that. Whether or not you decide to go claim or not is going to be your decision. So
we simply have to include the MetaMask address in the signing statement. So we claim Bitcoin, prove that we own Bitcoin, but in the signing statement, we had to embed the MetaMask address.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
Have your Ethereum address.
Yeah.
It will be that easy. Just clicking and changing from Ethereum mainnet to Pulse. It will be that easy.
I think there's still this uncertainty around how you do that for a non-Ethereum based token that you sacrificed, Litecoin, Cardano, XRP, whatever. That has to somehow.
Yeah, he has a video for the one when we did the BTC for the Hex. He has a video for that. It's going to be a similar video, I would imagine.
A bit of conjecture on this topic, so we don't know. But as we said earlier, it's good that we got some experts working on it. We know they're going to figure it out. There's going to be video.
For sure.
We don't.
And with that, guys, it's been really good chatting to you. It's getting late in the UK. I'm going to bow out and get some rest. Nice chatting. Take it easy.